story from the snow day.
Oh, she wants to tell a story.
I do like.
Do you want to tell it now?
No, well,
You might as well. It's fun.
Okay. Well, sorry to distract from the campaign, but it's a doozy. This man, whom I love so dearly, we went sledding with the kiddos and some local teenagers over by the school that's right by UUCV had built like a ramp out of snow that was, solid 4 feet off the ground above a, landing pile of snow, right? And the teenagers abandoned it after snowboarding down it, et cetera, et cetera. And the kids wanted to go down. So we figured, maybe a grown-up should do it first, make sure it's structurally sound. And Ben volunteered to take one for the team by going down this ramp on his sled, on his stomach. And it was about the point that he was midair that I could see him starting to reevaluate his life choices that had got him to that point. And by the time I registered the fact that he was really high in the air, he was landing. So you have like the snow pile here and Ben with the sled under him and just crack. He bounced. Like the sled landed, Ben landed, and both of them went back into the air. And I remember thinking, oh my God. Now there's another family who is watching the proceedings with interest. And this woman, like the mom of the kids, was just like horrified, like, and I'm like, oh my God, did he just like die in front of like us and all these children? So I go over as he rolls and he like, like cannot breathe. And he's like, I think I broke a rib. I don't really feel. And I'm like, okay. What is your name? He's like, I didn't hit my head. And I was like, where are your glasses then? This motherfucker hit his face so hard that they were buried in the snow. Sunglasses and glasses completely submerged. And his face was like icy as shit. So I'm like, okay, all right. You know your name, you know your date of birth. Like the breathing started to return to normal. And he's just laying there. And this woman is like, are you sure you don't need to call anybody? And I'm like, I think we're okay. Thank you. I think we'll make it. But at one point, he, after kind of the adrenaline had died down, he's like, but did I at least look cool? And I was like, the coolest. You were so fucking cool. And at that point, I laughed until I thought I was going to pass out. So the next morning, him waking up and saying everything fucking hurts. It's been a doozy, guys, and I wish you could have seen just this little curl that had escaped from the back of his messy bun as it sailed and bounced with the rest of him. Just the perfect little ringlet. Boop. Highlight.
Well, your face isn't bruised, so you look like you survived just fine.
Yeah, no, my face never hurt at all. My ribs are still, they still hurt. That was Thursday, and yeah, I hit really, really hard. My first thought was, you broke your ribs. Because I was making a noise because I couldn't take a breath in. It took me probably 4 or 5 seconds before I could actually breathe. And I was just like, and then like when I could get a breath, the first thing I said was, probably not safe to use the ramp. And then I hear that other woman be like, yeah, kids, nope, we're not going to use the ramp.
That's what happens.
So my cousin growing up.
Quick story too, because I had an adventure this week too.
Of course.
We are going adventuring. My dog is going to give me a fucking coronary before he's 6 months old. So we went out to the Long Island Sound, which is what we do because there's a wildlife sanctuary that's like 15 minutes from here. So we're up in Rye at Playland and we're on the beach, and dipshit is on a 26-foot retractable leash so that I can like park my ass in my beach chair, and he can run around like a maniac. Everything's great. This is standard operating procedure. Except this time there was like 75 seagulls all just sort of flocking on the beach. Motherfucker decides they're squeaky toys and
no.
head straight for them. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're going to scatter. He's going to like get a kick out of them flying away. Everything will be fine. Didn't give it a second thought. That motherfucker caught one. He caught a seagull by the head. Not even like by the body. He caught it by the leg. And he's and he only has little baby teeth. So then he realizes, oh shit, this seagull's alive. It's not a squeaky toy. And it starts flapping and it starts screaming and it starts pecking him in the forehead. And he got so scared that he took off down the beach with the seagull in his mouth. He was so scared he forgot to let go of the seagull. And he got so scared that he was pooping himself down the beach. And at this point, he has reached the end of the 26 feet and he's still going. So now I'm running down the beach with my crutch, screaming obscenities at my dog.
Who is shitting himself
Who is shitting himself and has a bird in his mouth. A large bird. So the only other person on the beach was this old man down in the tidal flat, and he was clamming. He had one of those little low stools and a bucket. Fucker laughed so hard he fell off his stool and was laying on his back in the tidal flat like a turtle. So I'm like, oh God damn it, I'm gonna have to catch the dog, and then I'm gonna have to help this old man get out of the mud. So I finally catch up to the dog, who finally let go of the bird. And my dog's mouth is completely bloody. And I'm like, oh my God, he bludgeoned this seagull. No, he knocked out his front teeth. Top and bottom, knocked his teeth out.
Oh no.
Were they
Baby teeth, but knocked his teeth out.
I didn't know that.
Whoa.
I didn't know how dogs had baby teeth.
Neither did I.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Teething is so real. It's worse than human teething. But yeah.
That's crazy. Well, our mini story is there was a mouse in our house that our 3 cats have been like really obsessed with for like the last week, but it's been hiding because, you know, usually it's being guarded by one of 3 cats. And Saturday it decided to somehow get into Ian's office while he was working. So he kept running out going, it's in there. It jumped at me. I don't know what to do. So we made this little bed for Klaus in the office while he was working, because normally the cats aren't allowed in his office when he's working. So we forced Klaus in there. We figured he'd be the most, he's like the youngest and usually the most spry, and also he's been the quietest and usually can kind of just be chill in the corner. Well, Ian comes out about 2 hours later and he goes, he got it, what do I do? And so we get Klaus out of the room and let him out, and I'm sitting there like, Ian has to go back into work because he's not really supposed to be off the phones, and so I'm sitting there trying to chase down Klaus with this living mouse in his mouth, and he kept letting it go and recatching it because he doesn't know, he's a baby, he's never had to catch a mouse before. He goes after hair ties, so he's used to letting it go and then flipping it in the air and then playing with it himself. So he doesn't realize that the thing moves on its own, and then he's supposed to kill it. Well, he lets it go and it goes and hides under the freaking TV stand. And then it sits under the TV stand for like 4 hours. All 3 cats are trying to kill each other and it. Finally, later that night, Klaus catches it again, and we like hold him down, get the mouse out of his mouth. It's still alive. And like, then I was like, oh, what am I supposed to do with it? I can't just throw it outside. It's 2 feet of snow outside. I'm not going to do that to the poor thing. So like in shorts and slippers, I run over to the neighbor's house, which is completely vacant, and put it on their porch and hope it survives over there.
Oh, the neighbors from hell moved out?
Yes, so it looks like someone still lives there. Like there's shit everywhere. And I emailed my landlord the other day. I was like telling her about like, oh, we have COVID, don't send anybody in our house, and blah, 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 all the different things. And I was like, by the way, since I have you here on this email, what's going on with the neighbors? It's starting to really creep me out. I haven't seen anybody there since October, and it looks like someone still lives there. And she goes, oh, well, they handed over their title and they left. And we're going to be ripping out the entire house and putting a new one in. So please be patient. We're sorry it looks like shit, but it's getting handled. And I was like, thank fuck. So no, the neighbors from hell moved away.
Yay.
Without like saying anything to us or packing anything normal in their U-Haul. It's kind of terrifying what they left and what they took. Definitely running like a meth lab or something. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah, and my surprise is I'm on the phone with somebody, and then I just see out of the corner of my eye something run across the room. Like, what the shit?
I've only had one run-in with a mouse, and it was on Christmas Eve at the Salvation Army when I was a minister. And we had just gotten done with our Christmas Eve service, and we were having a cookie social in the social hall. And me and the other minister were in the kitchen putting the stuff together, and a mouse ran across the floor, and both of us, instead of running away, jumped on top of the kitchen island and started screaming. And instead of coming to our rescue, the entire congregation came and laughed at us.
Yes.
Super fun.
we get mice every year because we live in a trailer, which is essentially a glorified cardboard box. But we never have an issue with it because Kirk always catches them, but class is on it this year.
Mice.
I've got many a mouse in this house using those little glue traps, and then I always, you pour a little oil on them so that they can wiggle themselves off the glue, and then you can re-release them into the wild. Except the one time that I was really high and I found a mouse on the glue trap, and I was like, "Oh, little buddy, here, let me take care of you." And I set it down in like a Tupperware container and poured a little bit of oil so it could get itself free. And I was like, "Man, it's like 2 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll set you free tomorrow." And then I put a lid on the Tupperware container and woke up in the morning to find obviously a dead mouse, because that's what happens when you lock something in a room without oxygen. I felt really bad. I felt very bad because I always try to set them free. I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
That's fucking hilarious.
I was having so much empathy for that mouse coming into the wrong house. I was feeling so bad. I was like, is this what's gonna turn me vegetarian? This goddamn mouse.
We had a cat bring in a mouse and then played with it. It was Puck, and he didn't actually kill it. He just wanted to play with it. And I couldn't catch it. And eventually it got away, and it was like, all right, well, it's fine. Wherever it is, I'm sure it'll leave, or I'll find it later, or the cat will find it or whatever. It moved into a flower pot on our mantle and lived in a flower pot for a couple months. And we were sitting down to dinner, and there was a mantle to our right. And here comes the mouse up over the flower pot and down the mantle and down to the floor and just ran away. And Puck would just play with it when he felt like it, and it would run back into the flower pot until one day it was dead.
Well, we left for Disneyland and we came back.
Oh, did we?
Or was it Disney
No.
World? Whichever one's in Florida. We went on a trip, and when we got back, Puck had got the mouse.
Yeah. So we had a mouse living in a flower pot for a couple months. That's what happened.
Adorable.
We have a shrew who lives in the siding of the house,
Yeah.
and it's kind of the most delightful thing ever. Except we had left a box of snacks outside, and I didn't think about it because it's like a cardboard box, and But I brought it into the house to put them away. I guess I'd left it outside for a little bit too long because I'm guessing it was our resident shrew had just shredded almost everything in there. And I'm like, oh, this sucks, whatever. This one's bad, this one's bad. And then I'm like, Madeline.
On their own.
Curls and already eaten almost the whole bag. So I'm like, Maddie! And she comes running around the side of the house with this bag of cheese curls. And I was like, those may have been opened by a mouse. And she just looks at me, looks at the bag, looks at me again, spits out whatever's in her mouth all over the back porch, and immediately starts crying and runs into the house and is rinsing her mouth out and is just full on in tears.
She had
And I'm
a panic attack.
okay, look at this. So I look at her bag. It turns out her bag had not been opened by the mouse, but the fact that it could have been was enough to
Oh,
full-blown hysteria.
So
about
what I'm learning from this conversation is that Greg is the only house I'm going to from now on.
no, our house is mouse free because they only exist in the house for a couple of hours if they decide to come out. Seriously, I'm not worried about having mice because all 3 of them are mousers. They
Well-
will all catch the mouse.
Again, at this point, Greg, I'm coming to your house.
And well, and admittedly, the shrew doesn't live. We haven't spotted it in the house at all.
No.
It just lives
Close
like
enough. Close
it
enough.
hides in between the actual wall and the siding.
Rodents
Oh,
and I are not friends.
Well,
No.
I do have a cat, 2 bunnies, and 2 boxers. So
All of which are cool.
so and my boxers love to play with animals. So they have also caught a bird before.
I don't mind birds.
go.
It's the rodent thing that
Birds,
Oh,
rats
well,
with wings. Is what
because
they are.
it was flying. Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. I was like,
I
They're
have
just
way
like-
more respect for things that can catch flying things.
I'm like, oh, it's a bird. You're not going to catch it. Stop chasing after it. And sure enough, Socks jumped up off of one of the logs in front of my house and like hit it with his paw. And then Ellie picked it up and was like, I got it. It ran to the other side of the yard and set it down and then chased it back over to Socks. And they just kind of chased it around and picked it up and like I didn't think you were actually gonna catch the bird. It was flying.
That's impressive as hell.
It is. It's a lot more impressive than Mr. Nose down in his food bowl over there.
All right, gang. Well,
Clearly, we were starved for social interaction.
yeah, no, it's totally okay. It's totally okay. This is all great. This is our last session of 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Woo!
So
Good riddance to the dumpster fire. You
yeah,
guys are not the dumpster fire.
Our first session was on February 16th.
yeah. So we're almost a year into this campaign, guys.
Oh,
Getting there. So, to briefly recap the events of last time on the AA Adventuring Academy, the party. Whoa, where did you guys start off last time? I'm trying to remember everything that happened last time. Oh crap, I'm totally blanking. Working backwards, there was Bark's Dream, there was the meeting with Anya, the abbess of the church, and there was the talk with, of course, the talk with Tomlin. Oh my god, I can't believe all right. Last time, you guys all awoke. Erdan had a terrible nightmare and chose to share that information with the party, ultimately deciding that the party would, stick together despite Erdan's warnings that it may be dangerous to do so. You entered the town to go to the temple to deliver the bones, at which point there was noticed that the party was being pursued by some individual, and you guys decided to corner this man and interrogate him, ultimately learning that he was a man named Tomlin, who was familiar with Fleur, aka Mr. Corso, who they had been mercenaries together in the past. And through your interrogation, you found out that their career as mercenaries ultimately landed to them both falling into the same cult together, where Fleur and Tomlin were both enforcers for this cult that worshipped Zarthesius, the White Death. At some point in that time period, Fleur decided to abscond with the phylactery. And that is when he fell into the ocean during a storm and was rescued by Menos on the Isle of Fogo. After revealing all this information, you guys pumped him for everything you could, learning about secret locations and cult signs and countersigns and all that. And then Titus put a swift end to to Tomlin, the bad man. And then you guys left, and you went to the monastery, or the temple of the Celestials, where you met with Abbess Anya, or Mother Anya, and she informed you about the problem they've been having with the catacombs, whereby there have been some kind of little silvery worm that bite that were crawling out from under the cracks of the door, and they had to seal off the catacombs, and they have not been able to inter any bodies in the catacombs since. You guys decided to rest up and come back the next day to deal with that situation. You went back to the Thirsty Vagrant, the tavern, the pub of Lillian Thistlebroom, the nice halfling bartender that y'all met. And while you were resting for the night, Bark fell asleep while reading his demon lore book and had a meeting with Ancanus, the keeper of the keys, Bark's long-lost father, who unveiled to him the information that he actually has two parents that didn't abandon him so much as put him into hiding for his own protection. And right then and there is where we begin. Bark, you awake to find the book resting on your chest, having just had this dream. The party, you all begin to rouse yourselves and wake up a little bit. The morning is a bit chilly, a bit colder than it was the night before. And looking at the windows of the tavern, you notice a light layer of frost on them. And peering outside, you all notice that over the night, it has snowed.
Summer.
And, yeah, weird. Time passes weird in video game land. There's a light coating of snow everywhere, and it's chilly. Good morning, party. What do you want to do?
God, I fucking hate winter. I'm making coffee because snow makes me pissy.
I hate winter.
Shut up. I'm in the middle of a game.
I guess Bart kind of quietly reflects on his night experiences.
Something warm sounds like a lovely idea. Do you have some water for tea, possibly?
Ian, your mic is a little in and out.
Oh, sorry. Is this any better?
That's a
Much
lot.
better.
Far
Okay.
better.
Do you possibly have enough water for tea as well? I'm not really the coffee person. Thank you.
You got it.
Are you guys all meaning to go down to the pub, or are you guys hanging out in one of the rooms?
I thought we were all in one room.
Oh, okay.
We probably would have been in separate rooms to sleep for the night just because, there are like 7 of us, 8 of us.
Oh, that's true.
Unless y'all are shacking up.
8 people in like a 2-bedroom room.
Just 7-layer
Kyle.
bunk bed.
I mean, clearly you guys have never done spring break at college where we would pile like 10 of us in a 2-bed hotel room.
That's senior week.
I said it.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess going down to the main. I mean, do we want to try to make breakfast in our own room, or try to get breakfast from the inn?
I'm gonna
You guys-
support small business and get breakfast from the inn.
You guys do smell the faint waft of bacon.
Bacon!
Let's go down and get actual
Yeah,
food that we don't have to make.
Let's go have food.
All right. So you guys go downstairs into the main tavern room. There's a couple other people there also having their breakfast, you know, coffee and rashers of bacon and some fried eggs. And you see Lillian hurriedly running about, putting up like little garlands and stuff about. And she turns and she goes, "Oh, good morning, y'all. How's it going?"
What you doing?
"Well, it's the first frost. Gotta decorate for first frost."
Yay.
Came a lot earlier than I was expecting this year. It's been so warm. But, you know, sometimes it just goes directly from summer into winter. What's it gonna do?
Huh. You look a little busy. You want me to hop behind the bar and, you know, get on the stove?
Oh, by all means, that bit would be lovely, if you don't mind. I just put on another pan of bacon over the kiln. So if you don't mind keeping an eye on it, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
As long as I can feed the scraps to my dog.
Oh, of course. Gotta love a puppers.
All right. Cool. That way we all still benefit from the power of my cooking. And the dog gets fed.
Oh, that's a very good metagamey idea. Very proud of you.
I can go help Gander because I used to work in a tavern and thing.
Yeah. So Lillian is trying to fix some, you know, garlands here and there. Glances over at Fleur. "Hey, you, large human man. Sorry, I didn't quite get your name. Do you mind helping me with this?"
Oh, sure. Here, let me pound that in there for you.
"Oh, by the hammer of Mjolnir, that's a, woo, look at that thing."
You like that?
I do. So yeah, you know, you guys can get some breakfast. She seems to be doing some decorating for. It looks rather festive, and she goes, "Yeah, we got the first snowfalls in the night, and around these parts on first frost, we throw ourselves a little bit of celebration. You know, people outside, you know, throwing snowballs, making snowmen. Some people often get together and have, you know, little activities and competitions and all that sort of thing. So, you know, why don't go around and see what Badoja looks like in the winter?"
That sounds awesome.
Like fun.
Like D&D.
Have to.
Why are you such a Grinch?
You don't have to do anything.
I just don't like winter. It's so cold and crusty and snowy, and I fall on my ass all the time.
Well, you'll really be falling on your ass if they have a good ale drinking competition.
Oh.
Now
That'll
I'm
warm you up, Gander.
Now I'm listening.
Oh yeah, I always like to make a couple pies. There's always they do a pie eating contest. There's usually a couple people out there with big old kegs of ale for ale drinking contests. I heard someone mention at the last meeting of the town that someone was going to be organizing a fighting pit this year for First Frost. So if anyone's looking to cut your knuckles, it might be a good good way to earn a coin or two.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this festival. I think we should definitely.
If there's beer involved, I could probably be.
That's a trifecta right there. I get to drink beer, eat pie, and fight. I'm down.
It looks like it's right up your alley, big man.
It's like Flurapalooza.
It's like if Fleur was in a Hallmark movie, basically.
Yes.
Oh, we can also bet on Fleur. He's gonna kick everyone's ass. It's gonna be great.
Oh yes, gambling is very much a part of this holiday.
Fleur, you've got to come in. You've got to be super sickly. I want you to get into to just seem like you're very weak and sickly, and then when you're in the ring, you just knock them out. I want those odds to be really good.
Oh, a real hustler. Give him the rope-a-dope.
You heard none of this.
Zips.
Thank you.
I'll turn a profit on him myself. I'm not above a little gambling.
It's very smart.
I knew I liked you, Lillian.
Oh, I like you all too.
All right.
Well, anyway, as far as the festivities go, during the day, they do some of the stuff with the children, but really the fun stuff for the grown-ups doesn't happen until it starts to get a wee bit darker out. So, check back in after sunfall.
Okay.
Day.
All right. Breakfast is ready.
Bark finally emerges.
Oh,
Where have you been, sleepyhead?
Lost in my thoughts, I suppose.
Oh, yeah? Anything you want to share?
Had an interesting dream last night, that's all.
Bacon?
Yes, please.
Bacon makes everything better.
I very much enjoy bacon.
Well, it seems like all of us are having some interesting dreams these days. Were they these good dreams, Buck?
I guess you could say that.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. How about anybody else? Anybody else have any weird dreams?
So you're not gonna share with us then. All right, just checking.
All right, so what are we going to do today, guys?
Oh. Well, we have so much we can do.
I think we should definitely check out, this little winter festival thing that's happening and maybe prepare. We did say we were going to go down in the catacombs today. We could try to do that and get back in time for tonight. I don't know how late that might take us. That might be an overnighter kind of thing. So if we want to try to do this festival, maybe postponing the catacombs till tomorrow.
We also
How long will the festival take?
Well, if the festival isn't until after sundown, perhaps it wouldn't take long to at least take a look at the catacombs to see what we're working with.
Yeah, we don't have to commit to solving the problem today. We just have to go in there and figure out what the problem is.
Okay, so let's try to stock up, do a recon mission, see if it's a wham bam thing or if it's a come back later.
I like both of those scenarios.
Take it easy on the bacon, Top. I want you to enter the pie eating contest later.
Oh,
Maybe not putting him in front of the entire crowd of people would be a good idea, though.
Oh, right. We're in that shitty, bigoted cunt. Never mind, Top. Eat as much bacon as you want.
can do.
I love when Top comes out to play.
you're really gobbling that up.
But,
Fucked. Mr. Erdan,
Yes, Top.
can I teach you a goblin salute?
Goblin salute. I'm scared of this, but sure. Yes, I'm well acquainted with that one. Right back at you.
Merry Frostfall.
He was trolling.
Now that is racist.
Ferdinand, you're so punny.
Oh, Windsor's asking for treats.
Oh, he's begging. Oh.
Here you go. I'm gonna give him a whole bowl full of scraps.
Tup's right next to him. Realize that goblins and dogs have a very similar way of eating. Just
You're both disgusting.
Can we ever get through a session without it turning into a pun run? Just
No. I mean, look at the people involved.
it
No.
makes me very happy.
I'll just turn off my microphone and just be quiet.
You know, I'm just gonna go.
All right, so do we need to go anywhere before we go down into the catacombs?
I mean, we could always walk around the town just to sort of see what the lay of the land is for later this evening, but other than that, I don't have anywhere to be.
Okay, I think I need to check my equipment, but I think maybe we should get a hold of some stuff that's a little bit better for underground things. So I'd like to probably pick a few things up.
I'm also going to want to pick up some basic poisons so that I could, sleight of hand them into pies for for people for the pie eating contest later.
Casual killing people?
Fucking kill people.
I mean,
No.
maybe only if it's just a little bit.
When you say basic poisons,
What the shit, Erdan?
hang on, were you
Just a
saying
little
that?
bit.
Were you saying that to the party or to me, the DM?
Just to the DM at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you stop by an apothecary, they definitely have things that help to induce vomiting or whatever.
Sounds good.
I was gonna say, do you mean like milk of magnesia or do you mean like cyanide?
Just something very mild that would just make somebody have a sick stomach.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
easy enough to come by.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's fed on the sure thing, right? Like, Erdan. Holy shit.
He was going to become a Stone Street investor, but he turned to the life of crime instead.
Bro, you were just so casual about that. Like, oh yeah, a little underground tool, little poison. All right. Do that shit.
We often forget that Erdan is the rogue in the party.
Because he's so freaking polite about it.
Oh yeah. Let me just add just a little bit of poison right there. That's fine. Eat up. It's okay.
How so delightfully British of you.
For you.
Wow.
All right, yeah. So if you guys want to get going, you can definitely stop and pick up some things along the way. Is everybody ready to leave the Thirsty Vagrant?
Yeah, let's go work up an appetite.
All right. As you step out, you open the door and that kind of like almost snow blind, the light reflecting off the snow hits your eyes just in time for a small horde of children to go rushing right past you, chasing after one of the kids, hurling snowballs back and forth, laughing. The town has taken on a very jovial sort of air, right? Like this is was an unexpected snowfall, and people seem to be really enjoying themselves. You can even it's still pretty early, right? You guys probably got up around 7. I'd say by the time you have breakfast, got out, it's maybe about 8. But this is a medieval sort of town. People wake up early and they get to work. So you're already seeing people walking around and smiling and having fun in the on their snow day. And there are people that are just randomly hanging up decorations from like sides of buildings and like message boards and flag posts and all of those sorts of things. Anywhere where they can hang garlands and ribbons and whatnot. You know, everybody loves a festival.
It definitely makes snow easier to deal with.
Yeah. So you guys are able to, I'd say that you wouldn't have any issue stopping by a couple shops along the way. What types of things are we picking up? You said you wanted to pick up some herbs. You could probably get that for, I'd say, maybe 5 silver to get the herbs that you need to spike people's pies, you maniac.
And some stuff in liquid form for ale.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like you tell the apothecary that you're looking for some tea to make the dog throw up if he eats any chocolate from the festival, and he's like, "Oh, of course, here you go."
Yeah, of course. You know, nothing nefarious whatsoever. How much gold for that?
Oh, 10 silver altogether. One. Yeah, these are just simple herbs ground into a poultice, and you can use it as ever you want. Now this character is going to disappear from the campaign. Woo!
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, Erdan's good.
Is there a store that sells pet supplies?
Yeah, actually, you notice that as you guys are walking around the town, there is a rather decently sized shop that says animals and such on it, and inside there are supplies for animals, as well as like various cages with random critters for sale inside.
I want to pick up a couple things for the dog before we go in the catacombs.
Sure thing.
I want to protect him, so I want to get him a set of leather doggy boots.
Okay.
And a training collar.
Okay.
And a leather coat to protect his belly and his back.
Okay. Given the size of Windsor, I'm going to go ahead and say that is going to cost the equivalent of leather armor.
Yep.
In terms of like D&D, so I'm just grabbing the cost of that right now.
Cool.
10 gold.
That'll work.
This is a little, I don't know how you feel about like the vermal somatic material component situation with spellcasting, but I just realized I never got a component pouch. So, and I don't think that comes stock with my character. So I need to go buy one of those.
I mean, you should have one as a sorcerer, I think.
As not in my equipment.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you stop by any kind of shop that sells odds and ends, a component pouch is part of it. I mean, it's basically just a leather bag that you put stuff in.
Right. And none of my spells right now require anything beyond a component pouch.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not too worried about the maintenance of components, just so long as you guys keep in mind, like, oh, there's, this spell costs this amount in components. So when I am buying stuff for it being able to cast my spells, I need to mark off that amount of money. Rather than every time we go to a town, we need to be like, oh, I need to go to the guy that sells feathers, and I need to go to the gal that's got the beads. I mean, unless you guys want this game to be a shop sim, but that's,
Very holidays.
Yeah.
Black
We got
Friday.
feathers. Our dog keeps grabbing birds and ripping them right off.
Yes. The day where we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior. Consumerism.
Okay. Well, I'm sitting here and I thought I had a list of things I wanted to buy, but I don't know where it went. I have rope. It's good enough.
Okay. So then y'all are headed to the Temple of the Celestials to meet with Mother Anya.
Yep. Let's go.
All right. So once again, passing through the town, there's a building snow people. They are like affixing the area that's going to be like there's like where you presume might be a fighting pit at some point. They're building a big pyre where there's going to be a big bonfire later. They're rapidly constructing a small stage for, you know, maybe musicians or play actors or someone to do a thing. And you continue on and you come across the Temple of the Celestials, where outside you do see some of the disciples there in the process of putting up little holiday decorations, you know, wreaths and garlands and stuff. And upon entering, you once again see the imposing figure, bald head and tribal tattoos of Mother Anya. And she turns to you. She looks a bit tired, you know, it being kind of early in the morning. Oh, you have all returned.
What, you thought we wouldn't?
I had no doubts. I just did not know what time you would arrive.
Well, the earlier we get started, the earlier we get rid of your worms. Or at least figure out what they are.
Very good.
You guys like do a deworming on a catacombs?
Yes. Yes, this is good. We have. I can show you to where the entrance to catacombs is whenever you are prepared.
Okay.
Let's go.
Very good. And she turns and walks with a very upright, shoulders back, broad figure of a woman, a woman of authority. You know, leads you down some passageways into a less upkept area because, you know, this is just where bones are interred, or bodies, I should say. So it's not as clean and polished as where the people are worshiping. However, there is a door there, a large door with a padlock through it. And you can see nailed around any kind of crack are just wooden planks. She says, like I said, we had to bar off door because worm crawl through crack. But I will pull off wood and you can go inside. And
maybe we should only pull off like a piece of the wood and maybe get a sample of the worms before we like full on go in.
Agreed.
Okay, I do not know if one will crawl through. We might have to wait.
It's worth trying.
We've got some time.
Very good. And she grabs the wood and just rips it right off of the fucking thing. And then she hands go back in the robes and she's very wizened and noble looking once more and turns and just stares down at the crack in the door. And after a period of waiting, how long are you guys willing to wait?
What time is it?
I'd say by the time you got here, it's about 8:30.
And the festival will probably get started around 5:30.
Yeah, in the evening.
Let's wait till noon.
Yeah, at lunchtime.
Oh, okay.
What?
What's your thought, Moira?
I just feel like instead of sitting here waiting for a worm to show up, let's just go find him.
Well, I mean, yeah, give it like 10 minutes. If nothing comes out, I mean, the threat isn't like attacking right now. We can, open it up and kind of go in a little.
I don't know about all that.
The dog can talk.
Would Erdan or could we figure out how the I'm guessing the worm is blind and senses like tremors or something like that. So I Erdan will say to the party, I guess if we make a ruckus, lots of movement, it might attract the worm.
This is true.
But who's going to be the bait?
Loud noises.
Okay, Fleur is going to be the bait. Have you ever been swallowed before? Just whole? Have you ever been eaten by a giant worm? Because that might happen.
They're not giant, are they? They're not giant.
Just little worms.
They're regular worms.
At least that's what Mother Anya told you.
But there's a lot of them.
And they're silver.
And they cause damage.
Who has fire? Yes, squishy little fireball. Yes.
I have some torches.
Maybe if we get some oil, we can splash it on them and.
I can cast.
I still have fire bombs.
Oh yes,
I have one of
fireballs.
those.
Lovely.
I have one of
I
those-
still have cooking oil. We could soak a rag in cooking oil and just light it with a match.
I have torches. We have torches, and I have cantrips that can cast fire.
I
can cantrip control flames and use whatever. If there's a torch nearby, I can.
Who of us doesn't have dark vision?
Fleur.
Yeah.
Fleur
Fleur.
doesn't.
yeah, Fleur has the goggles I made for him.
Oh, okay, so everybody should have dark vision then, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need flame until it's like we
Unless
try
you're
to
trying to-
hurt something.
Except for Windsor.
Mm.
The dog. But the dog is on a training collar now, so I can keep the dog right next to me.
Would
We-
you like me to wash your dog?
Sure.
Yes.
I can do this. I would ask that you do not set fire to the catacombs. There are people whose bodies are interred there. We do not want to desecrate them. Do what you must, but please do not set underneath church on fire.
We will try not to,
That's
Mother
fair.
Anna. We'll only use fire if we absolutely have to.
We will
I-
leave as little of a trace as possible.
I appreciate this. If whole church burns down to kill worms, it's not good trade-off. Yes?
Yes. Understood.
Come here, little dog. This is good dog.
He's a pretty good boy. His name's Windsor.
She just rolled a nat 20 animal handling check.
Nice.
Who say good bow? You are good bow.
Good bow.
I like this dog. Windsor, you will be my little friend.
All right, so what are we doing? Are we just banging at the door here, or are we just waiting, or? Because I feel like the worms, they're gonna be there whether we find them or they find us.
But I'd rather find like 3 of them than like 400 of them.
Okay.
Can we wait like an hour and see if we hear anything, see anything, and if nothing shows up in an hour, then we go in?
Sure. I'm okay with that.
How big are these cracks? Can we see in?
They're pretty small. I would say, especially with it being dark in there, if you rolled a perception check advantage, and it's going to be a high DC, but if you roll a perception check with disadvantage, you might be able to peer through the crack. I don't know if you have the Find Familiar spell. I don't know if that's a druid spell or not. We'd have to look at it. But you can. There's ways to get spells that are not necessary, like by taking a feat or whatever.
You could just open the door and look from this side.
I can also turn Caper into another form if you give me a little bit of time to perform a ritual, about 10 minutes, or pardon me, not 10 minutes, and about an hour, and I could have Caper go in.
Well, that's a crit fail.
Yeah, it just looks like you can't really see in there at all.
I think that sending Caper is a good idea.
Agreed.
What shape is he in now?
What?
What shape is Caper in now?
He's an owl.
Okay.
But I can turn him into a bat, a cat, a crab, a frog, being a toad, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, poisonous snake, fish, rat, raven, seahorse, spider, or weasel.
Weasel.
Yeah.
It was a spider because it's a small crack.
I would say,
Yeah.
given the space that you're looking at, you imagine that probably only the spider would be able to get in there and crawl about.
For something like this, Caper's not really gonna want to change. So I have to roll and check to see if Caper would be okay with this. So Caper, I'm just staring at him. Caper, do you mind if I turn you into a spider? I know you don't, it's a scary place. He just starts shaking his head. No, does not want to. Okay, yeah, that would be pretty scary. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. And so, unfortunately, Caper is not going to agree. I respect his sentience, and even though he is underneath my command, I don't want to have him do something that he doesn't want to, and he'll just fuck off to the Feywilds again.
Hey, Erdan.
Oh, yes, Titus.
I can't help but overhearing the problem y'all having. I gotta like really close to you, but if you guys can like wedge me in to the other side of that door, I mean, I could peek around for you or whatever.
Do you think you could get through there?
I mean, if you guys open the door a crack.
Okay. My flying dagger associate here is suggesting that he goes through a crack in the door himself. I swear there's something you can't hear it, but yes, the dagger is talking to me. So can we open it up just a crack for it to fly in and maybe take a look?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Ernie, we're gonna eventually need to talk about your talking dagger because I don't want to have another Zarthesius situation.
I don't just cover Titus from he's not the sharpest, no pun intended. Oh yes, sorry Titus, sorry about that. I know you don't like to be smothered.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that at all. All right, I'm trying to do you a favor here.
I appreciate that. My apologies.
I just want to get to the stabbing.
And you can do a lot of stabbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys are able to pull off the remaining wood that is barring the door and open it just a crack. and Titus flies in behind it. Once inside, you can hear Titus like, man, it's really dark in here. So I can hear some squishing sounds. I don't know why I sounded French for a second. I'm losing it. Hey, baby. Anyway, yeah, and there's something over in the corner that's kind of moving a bit. I think it might be a pile of worms on a, I don't know, like on a body or something.
Oh, geez. There seems to be a pile of worms on a body, and just hears lots of gross squishing sounds in there. It definitely seems like there's worms.
Great.
This is great. This is absolutely fantastic.
Very festive. All right. So it sounds like they're right there. Do you guys want to? Can Titus like scoop a couple up and bring them over?
They're too far away from him. They're across the room, and he has to stay within 10 feet of him.
How big are they and how many?
Tell her it's really hard to see given the dark, and they're back in the corner, but it looks like there's just like a swarm of them.
It just says that there's a swarm of them. It's just really difficult to see. I'm surprised you can see anything. It's a dagger.
Hey, Titus, can you see anything else in the room? Like, what? Scope us out. What's the lay of the land in there?
Well, you know, let her know that it's kind of like there's like little shelves where like they put the bodies in, and it kind of goes down in like a hallway, and then the hallway curves, and at the corner there seems to be one of the bodies. I don't know if maybe they pulled it out of the catacomb wall thing, or if it was already there. I don't know what's going on with it, but it looks like a slouched over body, kind of in the shadows, and it's just kind of writhing a bit.
There's shelves of people, dead people, I'm hoping, and curved hallway, and then there's a slouched body in the shadowy area, and it's just kind of moving, writhing around. It's disgusting.
This is super gross. Is it writhing because of the worms, or is it writhing because it's not dead?
It looks like it's just kind of covered in worms. That like
Does anybody
moving
have
all-
detect undead?
It just kind of
I
looks
do.
like it's
I do.
covered in worms, apparently.
How long does that last?
I definitely have it on my sheet, but I didn't pull out my cards tonight. Hang on. Let me look it up.
So I have primeval awareness, which I could detect if there was a type of creature, whether it be aberration, celestial, dragon, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
Right. And Gander, you would probably have detect evil and good is the actual name of the spell
Yeah.
for detecting like extraplanar or otherwise sort of things.
Well, what I have written down is detect, and then I put in parentheses zombies.
That's good. That one, detect evil and good, is concentration up to 10 minutes. For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is an object, a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. It can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 foot of wood or dirt.
Would I be able to get through? Would I be able to get through the door, or no?
Yeah. This it is a stone door, but it's not like 3 feet thick.
All right, so why don't I go ahead and cast that?
So Erdan would like to check around and see if there would be some way for, I don't know exactly how it's laid out for the catacombs, but be able to use mold earth to be able to have a separate way dig into the catacombs.
They are made of stone. It's
Okay.
like old Roman sort of concrete, as opposed to just like dirt. So I don't know if mold earth would super work, depending on the wording of the spell.
Four.
Yeah, it says excavate loose earth, so we can get close to it. But if dirt or stone you target is on the ground, you can cause it become difficult terrain. I can't excavate stone. Because shapes, colors, both.
I mean, if someone were to bust up the stone floor, you could get to the dirt underneath it.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
All right, let me cast detect evil and good. Do I have to roll anything to cast that or no?
No, you just cast it.
All right, casting. Concentrate.
All right. You concentrate and your eyes glow, and in your ear you can almost hear Inamea's song. And you open your eyes again, and almost as if you can see through the door, you see this wriggling mass of worms that seem to almost be highlighted. And you can tell just by looking at it that there is definitely something undead going on with the worms themselves.
Zombie worms. Awesome. Anything else in the room? I'm still concentrating.
I mean, the whole place is consecrated ground, which is weird because there's undead there. It looks like it's possible that the catacombs have been desecrated in some way.
Great. Okay, I'm going to relay this to the group. You heard him.
How do you undesecrate the tombs?
You have to, if you want to go based off of all of my real world historical religious knowledge, you have to remove whatever the desecration was and restore it.
Well, we're not really hired to undesecrate it. We're just hired to get rid of the goop, the wormies. Kind of their problem with
If
undesecrated.
it's been desecrated, the worms aren't going to go until it's reconsecrated.
Okay, but can't we just walk around and sacred flame all of them?
I mean,
Wouldn't that
we
do
don't
it?
know that they'll go away as soon as it's undesecrated, and we don't know that the desecration has anything to do with the wormies.
Well, the undead can't be in a consecrated space. Zombies can't come into church.
Do you think if I put some holy water on this thingy and I could just like battering ram run into the worms and then smash? You think that would work?
No, but I think you're onto something. You and Riswin are onto something.
Okay.
Riswin.
Gander and I have sacred flame up to 60 feet, and it's one of our cantrips, so we could just keep going. So we
Yes.
could just walk ahead of you guys and like flame away. And since it's sacred flame, shouldn't it destroy the worms?
But not touch the bodies
I mean,
because it's sacred. And if that doesn't work, I have create water. If I can replicate holy water, we could just like wash the place.
yes, okay. What do
Put
you?
it on fire.
Somebody with more knowledge. Any ideas here?
I mean, do you have this thing's given some undead vibes, right?
Yeah, it's definitely undead.
So Fleur
You're
might.
clerics. You should be able to do something about undead.
I'm not really a
Gander,
more party kind of girl.
Xander, how about you and I just go in and flame at this current in front of us, the dead thing covered in undead worms with the sacred flame and see what happens. How about we do that? Because we're not going very far into the crypt.
That's
right?
true.
And
And
either
If we go in, yes, I think that we should have somebody go in back to back with us. So if you and I are standing side by side, flaming the shit out of it, I think we should have somebody behind Fleur behind us, just in case shit goes down.
But if Fleur carries the phylactery, Fleur might not be a good person to have in a space with.
Fleur doesn't have the phylactery; it's in the bag of holding.
It's in
Right,
the
but if
secret.
Fleur has some sort
bag.
of undead connection. Is that
It's
potentially-
it's in the shut it up bag. And didn't we put the shut it up bag in the bag of holding?
Wait, did we? Because I don't think we
I think you
thought that
said we
was a good
did that. Yeah.
I think we put it in like another bag to make it look inconspicuous, but I think putting that in the bag of holding is the worst idea.
Oh, that's right. We did decide that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if Fleur
But
is
it's in the
somehow
shut it up
sensitive or
bag.
connected to undead things, we might not want to put him in a situation where he could then attract other undead things just in case that's how that works.
But didn't we sever his connection when we put it? I don't even know what I'm calling it, the shut it up bag, because I don't even know what it's called. But it didn't sever its connection with Fleur.
okay, wasn't the body with all the worms, wasn't that only like 30 feet inside the door?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think we're
Gander,
over
we can do this. I think we could just walk in and
Okay.
fire up the place and run back out if anything else is bigger than a worm.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Great.
So we're going in.
We're going in.
I'm gonna be
All
right back.
right. The door opens up. Immediately, as you guys take a step into this dark and dusty corridor that is roughly 20 feet wide. So it's a wide room. The hallway goes down about 30 feet and then seems to like turn off and maybe goes down another hallway. You think maybe it's kind of like like maybe there's multiple layers, or maybe it's a bit like a few different rooms. Obviously, this place has to house a lot of dead. But you do see across from you, and you hear across from you this.
Oh, so gross.
As there's just these worms crawling all over this body. And roll initiative.
Okay.
Ruswin, you're going first.
Sure. I am literally going to step in and for 60 feet down the hallway on all the walls, just do like a sacred flame, all the walls, all the floors, the pile of writhing, disgusting worms.
All right. Hang on one second here. Let me get everyone's initiative. Rizwin, that's total 18.
Yeah.
Gander, yours is total 2.
Yep.
Bark is a total of 7.
Which is so on brand for Gander not wanting to be a cleric.
Fleur, yours is total 12.
It's 15.
Total 15. Moira. Erdan is total 14.
Yes.
Moira total 22.
Shit.
And Riley had to step out for a minute. Babe, do you want me to roll for you?
Please.
Okay. Nira is also at 15. or yeah, so Nira and Fleur, you go on the same initiative. We're gonna start off with Moira. Moira, you see wriggling mass of worms that are on this body. And they do seem to respond to you all entering the room and are starting to crawl off the body in your direction.
Okay. I guess I'm going to. Sorry, I thought that was a good time to run to the bathroom. I didn't realize we were all going in.
I thought that was just Gander and I too. I thought we were just walking in to like see
Yeah.
if they would respond to the sacred flame, and then if they didn't, then we'd come back and regroup.
That's what I thought.
Oh, well then you guys can hold your actions.
Yeah, I'll
if you
hold
want.
my action and let Gander and Resman go first.
Okay, that's totally why when I got the 18, I just walked in and sprayed everything with sacred flame all the way down the hallway and all the way up the walls. And it's a 60 feet, and everything was within reach. So everything just got covered in sacred flame.
Well, Sacred Flame is like, it has a range of 60 feet, but it targets an individual. So you're targeting the worms themselves.
Sure. Okay. We'll just target that mass of disgusting. Great.
All right. Turns out worms aren't super dexterous, so let's see. They rolled a 15. Does that beat your DC?
Damn it, I should have written this down someplace else. Hold on.
No, walk over here right now. It should be 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Hit the wrong button on the Bluetooth. Fix it.
Well, hang on. Now we're on mine. You
And
go.
now there's an echo.
Okay.
Where do you find your proficiency bonus again on the character sheet?
So I can't read it.
Voice of God.
Oh no!
Is this better?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Hang on. You have really.
I thought you said it connected to yours.
It said it did.
And you all get covered in worms and die. The end. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Does this mean that we've been a bad adventuring party?
Yeah.
And now you're both muted.
How about now?
Okay.
Now it's good.
All right, and there's no echo.
Nope.
Okay.
Again.
Great. Okay, so I'm sorry.
You hit the wrong button.
I hit the wrong button on the stupid Bluetooth speaker. Can you walk us through what how do you get to the DC? Because I don't remember if I had changed it when we leveled up last time.
Yeah. So it will be 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus. I think you all are at proficiency bonus 3 currently. Yeah. So it'll be 8 plus 3 plus whatever your wisdom modifier is.
Okay. So that's 14.
Okay. So they rolled 15.
Hang on.
So you let off your sacred flame, but the worms kind of scatter away from where it poofs and blasts.
Mine is a 15.
Okay, yeah. So now Gander is up. Gander, you go. You rolled your DC is also 15,
It is 15.
and you're also doing sacred flame.
Yes, sir.
All right, that time it did hit. So go ahead and roll damage as your sacred flame comes blasting in to burn.
Remind me what I rolled for damage.
I believe Sacred Flame is 1d8, unless that has gone up given your level.
Oh, it says the spell's damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 5th level, so it's 2d8.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it should be 2d8.
8 either way.
Okay, so 8 total damage. You see that this swarm of worms, several of them get singed off and make a squealing, popping sort of sound as they get blasted by radiant fire. And for anyone who is holding their action, what are you guys doing? Are you guys just waiting?
I will defer. My action, I would have cast Mage Armor before we entered this room, unless, since I didn't state that, do you want me to use that action now?
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
We could say that in the preparation time you would have done that.
Okay, and then I would, I'd be holding my action for the first time I see something try to go after one of my friends. I'll cast Chaos Bolt.
Sure.
Or I'll cast Firebolt.
Okay. Anybody else?
Uh,
'Cause you guys all ended up in initiative before these worms.
So for Erdan, he's just gonna ready his longbow. If it gets in like 30-foot distance, he'll shoot an arrow off.
Sure thing. Okay.
I think I'm gonna rage.
Really angry.
Fleur of mad. All right. So the two, the big mass of worms as they crawl off the body kind of form these two different swarms that are coming up the hallway. But they're worms. They don't move super fast, so they only advance about 10 feet. And that brings us back around to Rizwan again. Well, I mean, technically Moira, but I don't know if you're still holding your turn or not.
I mean, I could just keep blasting.
Candace went to deal with the child thing.
What, I guess I'll continue holding, I guess. I think I have to use it or I lose it. Well, it's a cantrip, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna ask Gander, should I attack or wait? What do you want me to do?
Let me blast them again. See what happens. It's something.
Do you want to see if regular fire works?
We promised we wouldn't use regular fire unless we absolutely had to.
We said we wouldn't burn anything down. I can attack the worms with fire.
That's true. Go
This
for
is
it.
the baby fire. I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Okay.
Please don't blow us up.
This doesn't trigger wild magic. Cantrips don't trigger wild magic.
All right. So go ahead and roll a spell attack. Yeah, that'll hit.
This is cool. Wait, do the damage.
You can just click and
I hit click and it's not doing anything. All right, hold on. Where's the damage? Firebolt damage. 8.
All right. As I had said, the main group had kind of split off into two. Were you aiming for the group on the left or the right?
Left.
Okay. So that group of worms is looking rather small now, but there is still a group of them that are crawling their way across the floor. Then that would be Rizwan's turn. Sacred Flame once again.
Yeah, yes.
Second verse, same as the first, except
Yep.
this time,
Groups on the floor.
what?
Whichever, you said there was 2 groups of worms?
Yeah, the main group kind of split into 2 as they're charging their way towards you guys.
Okay, so whichever one's the closest, that's the one that I want to hit.
They're both about equal distance. One is a larger group and one is a smaller group.
Okay, let's go for the larger group.
Okay, so you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Add anything to that?
No, those the 2.
No,
we-
not with magic damage. So radiant flame bursts up and blows off some of the worms, burning them and frying them. Then that's Fleur's turn. You're still, well, you're raging now. Are you charging in or are you?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna battering ram that right side.
All right. I will say that you will be able to maneuver around the people in front of you before you battering ram. Because you need 20 feet of movement. So your first 10 is kind of dodging, and then 20 feet in a straight line. It's only 5 feet wide though. So I'd say you can only hit one of the 2 groups. Are you aiming for the larger one or the smaller one?
The larger one.
Okay.
That's the one on the right, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. And they're rolling a dexterity saving throw. They rolled a, well, that's only a 9. So that's not gonna get out of the way of your thing. Go ahead and roll your damage as you go stomping on these worms.
That's 9.
Yeah, so you go charging in there, stomp, 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 stomp. And then you can also make your other attack if you wish.
I wish. 11 plus 12 plus, that's 15.
That'll hit.
All right. So D4. So 14.
14 damage. Yeah, there's still some worms there, but you just stomped and smashed a lot of them. The swarm is looking a lot smaller now. Nira, that's you. Are you still holding or are you doing it? Cat just fell off something.
Still holding.
Still holding your turn. Erdan, that's you. Still holding?
He's just gonna go ahead and let an arrow fly. Whichever mass looks biggest.
Well, okay, yeah. So that would be the one on the left currently, because the other one Fleur is literally standing on top of.
Yeah.
I squished.
So yeah, go ahead and roll an attack. Is that a nat 20?
No, it's just it's a dirty 20.
Okay, well that's definitely gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
10 damage.
All right. The arrow strikes. Given that it is an arrow, it doesn't seem to hit as many of them as something else might. Given that it is a swarm, but now there's barely a worm left, right? Your arrow did definitely do some damage there. At that point, Fleur, you're further down the hallway. You are kind of right at that crook where it turns, and you hear more squelching sounds, but you also hear a low moaning sound. And you look over, and charging towards you is something that was further down the hall. It appears humanoid. And it is going to use its full action to run so that it is right up in front of you. Although it was far enough down the hall that it's not going to be able to attack you on this turn. It dashed, so now it's like right up in your face. It looks humanoid. It looks like a man, a rather large man with a scraggly beard. He's covered in holes, like pock marks, from which there are worms just kind of wriggling and crawling. And
Trying to give us nightmares tonight, Ben.
yeah, and hanging from his large frame are the tattered like remains of his, like the burial shroud that this person was interred in, but it is just red with blood. So it's just this large man in these red robes.
Oh God.
That was the being's turn. Now it's going to be Bark. Bark, you just saw this thing charge up, and it is standing toe to toe with Fleur, who is surrounded by worms and has another pile of worms just a little bit off, about 10 feet behind him as well. But that one is very small.
How far ahead of me is that?
About 30 or about 20 feet.
Clarify something for me. The 2-weapon fighting, I don't have to pick the same target for those 2 swings, right?
You do not.
Okay. I will move up to beside Fleur, and I will attack the, I guess, smallest worm group first, with my short sword.
Okay, so those are going to be the worms that are just right on the floor under your feet. If you
Yeah,
want to hit the other group of worms, you would have enough movement to do it. I would allow you to break up your movement if you wanted to hit both groups of worms.
Okay, you said the width of this corridor is 5 feet, right?
No, the corridor itself is about 20 feet wide. There's about 10 feet of space in between where the 2 groups of worms were. Fleur is on the right side, where the tunnel kind of went off to the right, and then this large wormy man came running up and is right up in Fleur's business. And then off to the left, there's just a couple worms left.
If you'd prefer, I can attack the larger group of worms first so that I don't end up moving as like doing a split movement and having to do any sort of weird stuff.
It's up to you, man. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. I will just, I guess, go for, well, since you already said that I could split up my movement, I'll do that first.
Sure.
I'll attack the smaller group on the left first.
So you're going to go to the left first and then go over to the right to end your turn next to Fleur.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Can I attack after I move that second time?
Yes, because you still have 2 actually, technically, if you're using your short swords, you have 3 attacks because you have your regular attack action, your extra attack, and your bonus attack offhand.
Yep. Okay. And then with Colossus Slayer, I can only apply that once per turn. Do I get to pick, and do I have to pick before I attack? Or like, how do I decide when that?
I think you have to declare when you're using that ability.
All right. I'm just going to do the regular attack on those guys. Oh, damn.
Believe it or not, that's enough to hit.
Okay. All right, then.
It's just a pile of worms.
All right. So that's a 1d6 plus 3. Oh, plus, hang on, 2d6. 3. No, I didn't do the other thing. Hang on. All right. I'm just doing regular damage.
Okay.
5.
All right. So the last remaining small groups of worm there catch your sword and are no longer wriggling. That swarm seems to have been dispatched.
Sweet.
You move over, and are you attacking the other group of worms or the individual?
I am. Yeah. The other group of worms, and this time I'm going to, if I hit, use Colossus Slayer.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Go ahead and roll up your damage.
Nine.
And that will do it. You swing down and dispatch the other group of loose worms that were on the ground.
I suppose then I will use my third attack, which is my extra attack, to
Yeah, your offhand attack
to attack the larger pocked man.
Yeah.
14.
That will also hit. Good turn.
5.
Okay. Is that 5 total, or are you adding
total.
your?
That's total.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you slash one group of worms, take a step, slash the other group of worms, and then come in with your offhand and stab at this large bearded man and slice him. And end your turn right there. That's going to take us to Gander.
I'm gonna go after zombie dude with Sacred Flame.
Okay, zombie dude is going to roll. Ooh, nat 1. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Wahahaha.
50.
13.
13. Yeah, yep, the fire burns up and that hurt the being.
Yay.
All right. Anything else for you on that turn, Gander?
Where am I in relation to Fleur?
Fleur is up the hallway about 20 feet from you.
Can I advance as close as I can to Fleur?
Sure, you get right there next to him with your movement.
I'm gonna go right next to him.
So now you guys basically have this thing surrounded on 3 sides.
Yep.
All right, that will take us back around to Moira.
I'm looking here. Okay, so Firebolt is a like a spell attack. It's not an area of effect. So can I see him to shoot, even though there
Yeah.
are 3 people? Okay, I'm just gonna hit him with Firebolt again. So 16 to hit,
That's gonna hit.
7 damage.
7 damage to the creature. All right. And that will take us to Rizwin.
I was just gonna do Sacred Flame, but that's not what I'm doing. Hang on.
Just say blast that motherfucker.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just dying.
I'm gonna use Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
My giant floating axe. And this I'm gonna use it at a 3rd level spell slot. So the
Okay.
damage increases 1d8. It was already 1d8 plus my spell. Sorry, hang on. Do I have to roll a d20 to see if it hit?
Yeah, you still need to roll a spell attack.
So 16.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. Plus a 6. So 13.
Youch. Wait, what's the +6 from?
Spell attack modifier.
That'd actually be on your 20-sided die.
Oh. My bad. All right, so then it's just 7.
Okay.
Still good.
All right. That takes us to Fleur.
All right.
Wait, did we skip?
Or wait, yeah. Did you skip them,
Moira Rizwin,
Nora?
Nira Erdan?
Rizwin, Fleur, Nira, Erdan,
Oh,
Monster, Bark, Gander.
okay.
Other people have just been holding their turns.
Where's
Okay.
Tup Tup?
Oh, Tup Tup was hanging out with Windsor. But
Gotcha. Just want to make sure we didn't lose our goblin again.
Attack if it rolls. No, are you kidding me? Boo.
swing and a miss.
Second attack. Rah. Ugh. That's ugly.
Flir's off his game tonight.
What are your pluses?
+5, so 11. But
That'll hit.
oh, how about that?
Yeah, he's a big guy not wearing any armor.
All right. So 12, 4, 3. So 6, 9, 12.
12 damage. Yeah. Yep, it felt that for sure. Also, as it gets back around to Fleur's turn, you guys hear another moaning sound coming up the hallway.
Great.
Nira, that'll be you.
Okay. I am gonna go ahead and cast Hold Person on the humanoid, which says that they have to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration of their turn.
You would know, because it is a spell that you know, that Hold Person is specifically for living people. Undead are considered undead, not humanoids.
I mean, it doesn't say anything about the distinction between living or dead in the words of the spell.
That spell, the spell you're thinking of is Hold Monster, which is a higher level spell.
Okay, I'm looking at second level enchantment that says any humanoid.
I understand
I'm
that.
just saying you
but-
called it.
Humanoid is a type of creature. I'm saying that this was a man at one point.
Okay.
But undead is a specific category that takes it
Gotcha.
into the monstrous.
Well, in that case, I'm going to light my sword on fire and use that to hit him. So Flame Blade.
Cool. Yeah, you can charge in and make an attack with Flame Blade.
Wait, just kidding. Oh, hold on. It says Flame Blade, but when I click it, it changes to Flame Strike, which is definitely not the thing I want to do.
Yeah, no, I think Flame Strike is a
Like a
cl-
column of fire. I'm not
that's
trying
like
to
a
do all
cleric
that.
spell, and that's like a higher level spell.
Yeah, I'm not trying. All right, so this is like an app issue because I click Flame Blade and it changes.
Sure.
So, no, I just want to set my sword on fire and use that, or my quarterstaff and use that to pop them.
Okay. Yeah. Charge in and make your attack.
Okay. I don't have the dice either. Boop. All right, it's gonna be a 9 plus my whatever's if I've got them.
That'll hit. What is the damage for flame?
Fire damage.
Flame Blade, second level spell. You evoke a fiery blade in your free hand. The blade is similar in size and shape to a scimitar. Lasts for the duration. It deals 3d6 fire damage.
Are we muted?
Mm-mm.
I said that for twice.
3, 4, 6.
6 total?
Mm.
Okay. All right. Nira comes charging in and swings a blade made of fire in her hand at the monster, dealing an additional 6 damage of fire. Erdan, that's you.
Is there enough space for Erdan to get in the mix? It just feels like everybody's on top of him.
At this point, the thing is pretty well surrounded. But I mean, you're a fucking rogue. You could peek your arm in there.
I'm
I'm
back towards the
guessing-
door.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing that this creature is flanked at this point.
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
think that's fair to say.
Okay, yeah, very, very flanked. Erdan's gonna run in, flanked, do sneak attack, or attempt to do a sneak attack with Green Flame Blade.
Do it up.
All right, let me. 21 to hit, so I'm guessing that does.
That's gonna do it.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Short sword damage. And then I have to figure out green blade damage. Oh, I rolled it too many times.
Weird that it keeps doing that.
Yeah. And then sneak attack.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go off the first one. I don't know why it did it twice. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So is that 30 damage that I'm calculating here?
37.
It looks like, so it's, maybe I should just reroll everything. But the short sword damage was 13, and then the first fire damage just says 7, so I'm gonna say 7 damage, and then plus 13
okay.
for the sneak attack.
Okay. So that's, so 7 and 13 and 13, right?
Yeah, what doesn't make sense is that my short sword literally cannot do 13 damage. So I think it was already calculating Green Flame Blade into that 13. So I'm just going to say 13, 13, 26.
Okay. Well, that is enough for your Green Flame Blade to strike forward and catch the large wormied man, and for it to collapse to the ground, squealing in agony, and then to lay dead.
Again.
The fire from all of your various flame-based attacks quickly covers this being and burns it down to ashes almost instantaneously. And at that point, the moaning that was coming from down the hallway continues as another being comes running up, once again, all wormied and gross. This looks like a white-haired, kind of portly lady. And once again, the same kind of burial shroud deal that was once white and is now stained with red. She comes shrieking up the hallway as well, now that she can be seen. Oh, whoops, I made a quick mistake here. The order of our initiative was Moira, then Rizwin, then Fleur. Help me out here, guys. Sorry. Then
Nira.
Bark,
No,
or then
Nira.
Nira, right?
Yep.
Then Bark, Erdan, Gander.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Bark was after Erdan,
Bark was after Erdan.
and then Gander.
Oh, right. Because Erdan just went, which would make it now Bark's turn. Okay. Sorry, just fixing something real quick here.
Yeah, I mean, all the holds kind of change things up, right?
Yeah. All right. So, Bark, you turn and you see this woman. She is now, having turned a corner, is standing about 15 feet away from you guys. What you gonna do about it?
15 feet, you say? Well, I mean, I suppose I will go up there and attack that creature.
Okay.
Oof, 8.
That's gonna be a miss.
I will use my 2-weapon fighting to swing again. 10.
That is just enough to hit.
That's good. I forgot about Hunter's Mark,
Yep.
which is a bonus action. I guess I'll do that before I do my extra attack, or does the extra attack count as a bonus action also?
The offhand attack counts as a bonus action, but you've already rolled 2 attacks, so you would have had to call Hunter's Mark before.
Okay.
Attack.
No problem.
That's all right.
All right, so 5 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my extra attack now with Colossus Slayer if I hit.
Yeah.
Which I believe I do.
That's gonna do it.
And I deal 14 damage.
14 damage. All right. That's going to take us to Gander. Gander, ugly looking worm lady coming up the hallway. What you going to do?
I'm gonna yell at Bark to duck, and I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon at a level 3.
Okay. That'll hit. So that's another 8 damage.
Woo! Windmill of Doom for the win.
Windmill of Doom strikes the lady and she squeals in anger and pain. Which is actually going to take us to her turn. She has Bark right in front of her, so she is going to make some attacks. That's a nat 20.
Oh no.
Crap.
That second one was only an 8. Which I know doesn't hit you. Or sorry, no, not an 8, and an 11, but that still doesn't hit you.
Correct.
Okay, so on the first attack, that's going to be 9 plus 3 is 12 slashing damage, plus an additional 12 necrotic damage.
Ouch.
And then she is going to fling a worm at you. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right, hold on. Let me update my hit points real quick. Okay. Dex saving throw, you say?
Yes.
Nat 20.
Oh yeah, you matrix, and this worm goes right over your head, landing on the ground behind you.
As it passes me, do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, you do not.
Darn.
Although very, very clever, sir. And that is going to be her turn, which is
Mark
going
says,
to.
ouch. It
Take
burns.
Yeah, it burns with like undeath. It's going to take us back around to Moira. By the way,
Okay,
she slashed at you with long, nasty claws.
So I'm just going to keep doing the same boring thing and hit her with a firebolt, which looks like it.
That's gonna hit for sure.
Where is it? 15.
Come back.
All right, another 15 damage.
Yay. I will stay back by the door. She's still like within 120 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well then I'm just gonna keep chilling in the back.
Okay. That takes us to Rizwin.
How far away is she from where I am? Where am I at in this?
Roughly 20 to 30 feet. You could move your sacred weapon.
That's right. I'm actually just gonna use the sacred flame.
Okay.
That wasn't me.
Kind of.
That is actually she rolled a 16 on the die, so
Okay.
she managed to dodge out of the way of your sacred flame.
Okay. Well then. That's the end of it.
Oh wait, no, I think you need to use your action to move the spiritual weapon.
It's a bonus action for moving it, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, you can move your sacred flame or your spiritual weapon in range of her if you wish.
Sure. But I'm not gonna go after her until next thing, right? That's
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes us to Fleur. Fleur,
Yes,
there's a wormy lady in front of you.
well, I'm gonna go swing. Here, let me try swinging again.
With your pluses, that'll hit.
Okay. Then I will. 12, 4. So that's 17.
17 damage. Yikes. Yeah, the hammer siege breaker smashes into this ugly old lady and it made her hurt real bad. Nira, you're up. You still have your fiery sword in your hand, and there's this worm infested lady ahead of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna hit her with my quarterstaff. Is what I'm gonna do.
No, the quarterstaff or with the flame blade?
Oh, I thought it was the. Never mind. Same difference.
Yeah,
Whichever one's in.
I was gonna say it doesn't really matter. The spell technically means that you like conjure something made out of fire as opposed to lighting your thing on
That
fire.
works. Then that's what I'll do.
Okay, so go ahead and roll spell attack. Oh, you have your d20 right there. You want me to just roll for you?
I have a cat on my arm, which you'll know that struggle. 15.
That'll hit. So you roll your 3d6. I get you set up on roll 20.
Yeah. Anything for the baby. All right, that's 87, 9.
9 total fire damage. Yeah, she's looking pretty bad, y'all. Erdan, that's you.
All right, well, I'm just gonna kind of run up to him and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Run up to the creature, flanking that creature if possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please, sir, can I have advantage?
Yes, you may.
Again, 21?
That's gonna hit.
Okay. All right, and then let's see if I can do it right this time. So I'm gonna try and just see what happens when I do attack. Oh wow, only 4 damage for my sneak attack, rolling 3d6s.
What the fuck?
Wow.
So you rolled ones for all of them?
One, and 2.
Yeah.
1, 1, and 2.
So total 17.
Well, I don't know why it's rolling twice for the fire damage for Green Flame Blade. So I'm just gonna go off of 8. For that, I did not do the damage for the short sword yet.
Okay.
Let me see if that rolls it correctly. I'll have to play around with this. That did roll it correctly, so it's 9, 8, 17,
21.
21.
Fucking rogues, man.
Once again, Erdan with the coup d'etat comes in and strikes this creature, and the fire burns over, and they collapse. However, Erdan, as you were moving toward the creature, I need you to, well, as this is happening kind of simultaneously, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
17.
And you dodge as the worm that she had thrown at Bark tries to make a jump at you. There's still one little worm on the ground. Literally anyone can stomp on this thing if you roll an attack.
Titus.
All right, except maybe Fleur. Technically, it has an AC of 6.
That's an agile little worm.
Okay.
So I guess
Do we hear any more creatures?
What?
Still
Do we hear
close.
any more creatures?
You do not hear any more creatures. Yeah, Gander, with your strength score, I think you have a +2, or don't you?
For strength?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
they-
have nothing.
I mean, I guess I do have a +5 to mine.
Oh, you have a +5 to strength?
Well, not just strength, but the strength plus my,
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah, you smack the thing. It only has 1 hit point. You squish the worm. Good job.
Is your strength only a 2?
Me?
No.
No,
+2.
Greg. Is your
No,
strength
mine's
plus,
a +3 to strength.
and then your proficiency be +3, so it should be +6.
Yeah,
Yeah?
and then he has a +1 because of a magical
Oh.
weapon.
Right.
So-
Well, if he's stomping on it, but
It
So-
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I technically
Yeah.
had to have you guys clear up that loose end.
And we were TPK'd by a worm.
Hey, congratulations, party. None of you got any of these worms on you, which could have very easily TPK'd this party.
Oh yeah.
By working together and by you guys wouldn't have known this, but by using fire and radiant damage to keep this thing actually dead, you guys managed to destroy what appears to be a elderly couple, a big guy with a white beard and a woman with white hair, both of which kind of wrapped in these red cloths, but now they have both burned away into ashes.
Good Santa.
This is zombie Santa. Great.
Oh God, what have we done?
There's always a clause.
Da-da-da!
Congratulations, party. You
We-
saved Christmas.
Zombie Santa.
oh my
You
god.
know I had to do it. You know I had to do it.
There's always going to be a clause, right?
Oh, man.
Wait, did you plan this?
What?
Like for us to fight zombie Santa on Christmas?
Yeah, it's just like he planned for us to find the fucking Easter bunny at Easter.
I think the Easter Bunny was shoehorned, but
I mean,
I mean,
I thought the next body coming up the hall was gonna be a reindeer, not Mrs. Claus. So
I didn't pick that up at all. I missed that entirely.
to be fair, I was tempted to throw a bunch of zombie elves in there too, just because, Santa. But at a certain point, the monster known as a spawn of Caius, which is technically what you guys were just fighting, is a horrifying creature that could easily kill any of you. But
24 damage.
for y'all's favorite.
hit.
Huh?
I took 24 damage from a single hit. It was bad.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten to me yet. I could heal you.
I would appreciate some healing. Guys, I'm kind of hurting over here.
Oh,
Hang
well,
on,
just
bro.
just rest. Just walk it off, bud.
I got you. I got you.
You don't understand. Like, I felt death, like
Oh, yeah.
invading my body.
Some form
Will
of magical
healing word
invigoration
fix
would be in
him
order.
then?
I'm
What?
doing an investigation
Will-
check.
Will healing word fix him?
It probably won't do enough to heal all 24 damage you took in that one hit.
Yeah.
But it'll help. Yeah, just so you guys know, for a record as to how badly this could have gone if things, initiative orders and whatnot were a little bit different. For each worm that lands on a person that is not immediately scraped off, they take 2d6 damage per turn, up to a total of 10d6 damage per turn. And if you die, you raise 10 minutes later as a new spawn of Caius that the party then has to fight. So they are very, very dangerous enemies. You guys made out pretty well. Anyway, I've been wanting to play with one of those for a while now. Fleur.
Whoa.
You roll an investigation check, and what you can see is that in the ash pile of these two, where there used to be these monsters and now it's just kind of ashes, there seem to be like little coins, and upon your inspection, these coins bear the symbol that you have seen before. There's a triangle within this circle. Keying off that perhaps this is somehow tied to the demon that you guys had seemed to be
reverse Deathly Hallows thing.
encountering over and over again. Holy shit! Holy shit! I did not plan that at all. How do you have that?
That's Ian's dad's coin.
We went over
Oh my
this.
god! Yes, you find two 30-day chips. Did not plan that at all.
He literally right just before we came in, he goes, I just found my dad's 30-year coin.
Yeah, well, literally, it looks kind of like that. Yeah.
We are the AA for sure. So are we gonna take these out to Mother What's-Her-Face? Because I don't think leaving them in the catacombs is a good idea, because that could we
I
don't
feel
want
like if
We
we
had
take
an
them,
to interpret bones, right? Like, or did we leave the bones with the? They told us to keep them, right? Last time.
bones are in the bag of holding.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna give them to her once she can put, because she's got to like do the preparations and make them smell good for the other dead worms. And
So, Andrew, you're suggesting that we scoop up the piles of ashes?
No, just the coins.
Okay.
I think we should take the coins to the king because he's the one that's gonna want, like, he's the one investigating the demon and Sir Glenn and whatnot. You know, we can probably let Mother, I forget her name, Alma?
Anya.
Anya. Mother Anya know what's going on, but we should definitely take these to the king because it seems
But
like
how
they're-
did they get in the first place? That's the thing.
I think we need to investigate the rest of these catacombs.
Before the party or after?
We don't have time, but
What time
Yeah.
is it now, Ben?
11:24.
Wait, you mean in game or right now?
In game. How
Oh,
long have you
yeah.
spent killing worms?
It's still mid-morning. Like this whole fight only took 30 seconds or
I
so.
think that's enough time to like investigate the catacombs, go see the king, and then go party.
yeah, I just meant like logistically in this session.
Yeah.
We don't have time to do all the things.
Yeah, no, that's fair. If you guys want to take some time to tour the catacombs, at this point now they seem pretty empty.
But we
What
need
you-
to figure out how they got in, because if they got in, we have to figure out what that desecration was. Because sure, we got rid of these two, but what's to say that the problem won't return and there won't be a reinfestation?
You hear the door creak open, and Mother Anya peeks her head in, and she goes, "I heard sound of fighting stop. Is everyone alive?"
We're all here. We're all good. No worms, though. They didn't fare so well.
Oh, good. You kill worms.
Well,
Among other things,
What other things?
Riswin,
well,
how about you handle this one?
Yeah, I think Erdan probably understands the words better. Yep.
So those worms inhabited two corpses and were attacking us just beyond repair. There's holes all over their body, and so in the process of doing the extermination of the worms, also two bodies were destroyed. It was unavoidable, though.
These bodies attack you.
Yes,
Oh.
very sad.
Do you know who they were?
I don't know who they were. I didn't get the chance to ask.
This is fair.
But I know that they seemed like an older couple.
An older couple.
That's what it
Wait.
seemed like.
You know,
No.
around the time that we first start to hear worms, we recently interred elderly couple that pass away. They grow sick and they fall dead and they are brought here.
Do you know
Yeah.
who they are? Or were?
I believe they were named Christoph, and Svetlana Kringle.
Oh, I see. A very regional name.
Yes. I think originally perhaps like myself, Ustengadroots, but they fell sick quickly. They were well known in the community as organizers and good people. But they fall sick and die, and it was very sad.
Do you know who was close to them? I think it's probably worth investigating the possible origins of these whatever inhabited them. I don't want that to happen to anybody else. That was horrific.
Yes, no, I will send some of my disciples to speak on this, and we will get word to the capital.
I would also
to the
sorry.
to the palace. to let them know of what has happened.
I would also suggest possibly separating newer people, newer corpses for as long as you can, just to separate them and isolate them in case this happens again in the future if we don't know what the origins are, just as a precaution. That was a very nasty creature. It hurt my friend, who was quite strong and scary, quite a bit in just one attack. So I don't want anything bad to happen.
Yes, this is troubling. So you burn them to ash.
Oh, it was a combination of flame, swords, some forms of divine magic. I would say a hearty dose of flame would probably do the trick. But they are powerful.
This is good. This should not have happened here. This catacomb is part of church ground. It is consecrated. The only way this could have happened is if some course or ritual was done here to break consecration. Do you have any indication of curse?
We can do some investigating possibly, but that's difficult to say. I'm not really an expert in that field. Two of my associates here are more. They probably have more information about that. Just using some heuristics.
Okay, I can have some of the disciples of the church and myself personally will do a sweep of the catacombs and try to purge any evil, be it spirits or whatever. Burn sage, cleanse the ground. But whatever was here that bring curse needs to be dealt with.
Erdan just kind of looks at it. Does anybody have something that could destroy a curse? Some magic?
Could curse have been brought in with a physical item that was accompanying the corpses?
Yes, I mean, curse item may curse.
Does anybody have the identify spell?
Oh dear, the
I do.
coins. The coins are probably cursed. Yes, that makes sense.
If we identify those coins, it's probably what brought it in.
Your old pal Tup Tup knows identify.
That takes 10 minutes, I think, or is it an
Tup.
hour?
Come on, homie. Do us proud.
We got
I
time.
think identify is an hour.
Is it?
Ritual? How long do rituals take? 10?
Oh, well, you don't have to cast it as a ritual. You can just cast the spell.
Oh,
Casting it as a ritual just doesn't take up a spell slot.
right. Well, that's,
Yeah.
I always do rituals.
Tub's like, man, this looks like serious business. Let me take a look here. Woo! Gets out the glass bottle, takes it, goes, token of Belarathus. Connection to abyssal demon prince, able to cause all sorts of nasty curses, breaking consecrated ground, turning beings into undead of sorts. Yeah, looks like they probably died with these in their possession.
Well,
Oh,
know
how
what
did we
caused-
get them?
That's a
great
good question.
Do you think we
Oh,
should
if they
present
just-
this to the king?
If you have cursed coin, allow me to do ritual to break curse before there is any more trouble. And
Yeah,
then we will.
say, let's let's.
Very good idea.
Oh yeah, let's not give the king cursed coins.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
We
not
were
good
gonna
idea.
tell him that it was a cursed coin, and so you could study it and know that we weren't lying.
Yeah, but I
I-
don't like that Salazar guy.
Let's break the curse first.
No, yes, no, I insist. Please give coin. Me and disciples will do ritual to break. I do not want this to happen again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
it can be
let's do that.
submitted to king. He can decide what to do, and this is fine.
Yeah, break curse, then give to king.
Anya, we must insist that these coins not leave our sight. Are we permitted to accompany you in doing this ritual?
If you wish to do this, it takes a while.
At least one of us, I think, should stay with the coins.
How long's a while?
If all of us work together to work on this ritual, possibly 8 hours. It depends on how powerful curse is. It is serious business.
Can I insight check Anya?
Sure.
Hold on. I need to go to different screen. 14.
Seems to be being straight with you.
How many
If
points
you
you
want,
got?
If you guys don't want to like miss the festival, I don't mind hanging out here because I really don't have any use for winter or snow. And I'll probably just be a cranky bitch. So I might as well just get my prey on for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and take the little Holy Communion with you.
We can.
I hear that wine's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I
But,
mean, we can
happy
each take like a
to-
2-hour shift.
well, I mean, if it takes 8 hours and it's like 11 o'clock now, by the time it's done, that's when the festival's starting.
I'll stay here with the coins and join you when it's done. It was my idea that we had to keep an eye on them.
Well, I mean, we could all just kind of chill here and wait. There's nothing else really going on. We can't go to the castle till the coins are broken. And the festival's not really fun without the whole party.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, maybe they can help heal Bark while we're at it.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
You know, that saves our spell slots.
this is a thing we could do.
Okay.
It's 8 hours. I could just take a rest,
You
right?
just take a nap in the corner and be like, all right, long rest, no biggie.
No, I mean, yeah. If I take a nap, then I'm not really keeping an eye on the coins.
Well, if
Yeah,
all of us
this-
are here watching them, it doesn't matter. You're the one that's hurt. You can sleep. We'll just keep an eye on them.
All right,
Cosmo on your screen.
it's settled. We're all sticking around.
All right.
Good. Perhaps I can give you all something to do in this ritual, and maybe it go faster.
I'm down.
I'll help.
Sure.
Let's do this.
Well, then we will deal with that and have festival next time because it is after 11:30.
Yay, we killed Santa.
Zombie Santa even.
And
Santa and Mrs.
and
Claus.
Mrs. Claus too.
Walks into the room right as I say that.
Funny.
Well, fun guys. I mean, obviously, we didn't quite get to the festival, but that's all right. I think next session we'll have some fun downtime activities to do. When do we want to have next session is the question at hand, though.
I do not have anything going on, so I think we are open for whenever.
I am moving right after New Year's Day. I'm coming back to Pennsylvania. And it's going to take me probably a week to get my internet turned on and get everything unpacked and get everything settled. So if we could hiatus, like go 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, that'd be great.
So on January 9th.
Yeah, I'll be back in and have internet by then.
Yeah, as I say,
Okay.
the only other alternative to that would be for us to play on the day after Christmas. But I imagine people have things.
No, we're gonna be exhausted, you crazy person.
Yeah.
I don't have, we have nothing going on. Somebody's coming to pick up a futon that day, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Steve and Candace have a bunch of Rugrats, and so do Ben and Riley. They're going to be like exhausted after Christmas.
Yeah, we don't usually sleep the night before Christmas. That's not really a thing that happens. So we usually
Yeah,
sleep
Greg too.
after.
Especially since we already killed Santa. So, you know.
Right. Extra work this year. Yeah.
Extra work.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So
Totally fair.
we can do the 9th. I just have to double check with my family that I don't have like a Zoom obligation because that's my dad and nephew's birthdays and it's a Saturday. And so it's very possible I might be engaged with them, but they kind of know we've got this thing going on and I'm always not available after 9 because we don't like seeing family after 9 p.m.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, we're pretty much open all the
Okay.
days. The 9th is fine.
Okay.
That. Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
Go.
Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. We got the fun Christmas plug with the enemies for tonight. I was wondering how long it would take for people to catch on when I said a tall bearded man in red robes. So that's fun. And then the winter festivities are kind of, it's not just Christmas. It's Yule, it's solstice, it's New Year's Eve, it's
cold.
winter time. So I think it still fits the season, and we will have that fun time next time.
So just like like we can talk about this later if everybody's like trying to hurry off for bed, but if you want, I have to do some work to transfer all of those files that I was talking to Steve about into a Google thing because for some reason they're in the wrong cloud. So I need to transfer them to Google, but then I can share them with the group. Ben, do you care if I make a Facebook group to put all the sources in, or do you want to do that?
No, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, and then Ian and I will talk tomorrow, depending on our energy levels. Sometime this week, we will set up the D&D Beyond subscription and the campaign, and then let everybody know like how to get into that. And then if anybody needs help with setting up characters and figuring out the Roll20 extension in Chrome or whatever, we can kind of do Zoom or whatever and help you guys set stuff up so that by the 9th, everybody has the access to what Ian and I were doing tonight.
Yep, definitely gonna need help with that.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you very much. By the way, really glad to see you and Ian feeling on the up and up.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
my sweating started like an hour ago, so I'm sitting here like freezing cold but sweating to death. I love it. It's great.
That lasts a while, just to let you know.
Well, this started when I started on prednisone, and so for like the last 3 days, 4 days, I've been extremely nauseous, really sweaty, freezing fucking cold, but also boiling at the same time. Like I have been running around basically naked because I can't handle clothes. It's too warm.
I've been going outside to stand in the snow.
I was shoveling
And
in like just a long sleeve shirt.
in real life, I hate winter. So
You don't say.
and I've been going.
Me too.
So
No,
all
but
right, I
yeah.
have to go. Speaking of standing in the snow, I have to go outside and beg my dog to shit. So I'll
Okay.
see you guys later.
Later.
All right, guys. Everyone have a good night.